Question: can you name the most recent movie that you went and saw in the theaters that wasn't a part 2 or a remake of a movie or based on a video game or a book? Can you think of the last time that you went to the movies and saw a completely original idea for a movie? Really think about it. Obviously, there's been some in the past couple years, and maybe you've seen like one, but as far as the really popular movies and the movies that everybody's going to see, there is no original ideas anymore. And if you don't believe me, here's the top 10 highest grossing movies of 2024 so far. Number 1 is Inside Out 2, which I'm not gonna lie was a banger, but it's still a part 2. Number 2 is Deadpool and Wolverine. Both already have plenty of movies before. Number 3 is Despicable Me 4. Number 4 is Dune Part 2. Number 5 is Twisters, which I thought was the original idea until I found out that it's a sequel of a movie that came out in 1996. So it's not. Number 6 is Godzilla and Kong, and they both have plenty of movies already, and who cares? Like, who's watching Godzilla and Kong in 2024? Number 7 is Kung Fu Panda 4. Number 8 is Bad Boys Ride or Die, which is the 4th Bad Boys movie ever made, and apparently this one was really bad. Number 9 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is the 10th Planet of the Apes movie ever made. 10. Now, number 10, the most original idea here, It Ends With Us, which is based off a Colleen Hoover novel from 2016, so it's not an original idea. I say all of this to say that there is not one top 10 grossing movie of this year that is a completely original idea. They are all part 2s or based on something else. That is absolutely insane. And it's only September right now. There are plenty of movies that are gonna come out at the later half of this year that are definitely gonna be in that top 10. We got the second Smile movie coming out this October, the second Joker movie, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited for, but it still proves my point. We got Venom: The Last Dance, because we all need a new Venom movie. Wicked, which a lot of people are excited for, but I'm pretty sure it's just a remake of The Wizard of Oz or something like that. I don't really know. It's something to do with The Wizard of Oz though, not original. Moana 2 is coming out in November, and I love Moana. I'm not gonna hate, I love Moana, but why do we need another one? And why is it coming out in November? This is the most summer type movie ever. Why is it coming out near Thanksgiving? Another Lord of the Rings movie? Nerds. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, because 1 and 2 just didn't cut it. And Nosferatu. We are getting so desperate for movies that we are going back to the Stone Ages of film for movies. People don't even know Nosferatu today. They know him as that weird guy from SpongeBob. Remember that one night shift episode of SpongeBob where the really weird looking guy is flipping on the lights on and off? That's Nosferatu. And that guy's getting a movie in 2024. Again, who's asking for this? Who's asking for this? And I know it might seem like I'm just handpicking all these movies out to prove my point, but I'm not. These are actually just the biggest movies of this year. And when you go back and look into the past 20 years of movies, it was not always like this. Look at 20 years ago exactly, in 2004. They had such a good combination of comedies, kids movies, scary movies, and just good films. Every movie wasn't a part 2 or a sequel to a movie that already came out. There was some part 2s like Spider-Man 2 and Shrek 2, and they made the SpongeBob movie that was based off a TV show. But still, there used to be actually good, well-made, well-crafted movies coming out, and now the film industry has turned into a money-hungry joke. And there's no movies that have been out recently that are as good as Shrek or Spider-Man, so why are we getting part 2s? Instead, why aren't we just trying to make the next Shrek and Spider-Man? It's like we gave up on the idea of coming up with original, thought-provoking, interesting, good ideas, and just focused on what will make the most money up front. Why make another original good character or another good movie when you can make Sonic the Hedgehog 3? And obviously it's not just these movies coming out. I'll give credit to people like John Krasinski for making a movie like If, which is a completely original, cool kids movie idea, but it's definitely not the norm today, and it didn't do as good as it should have because it's getting overshadowed by movies like Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I know I started this video with a question, but I've got another one. When is the last time that you went to a movie theater to watch a comedy movie? And a legit comedy movie. I'm not talking about a funny superhero movie or a scary movie with some jokes in it that made some people laugh. A Judd Apatow, Adam Sandler type banger comedy movie. When was the last time you watched one in the theaters? And the answer is probably about 5 or 6 years ago. That's how long it's been since there has been a really good comedy movie in the theaters. And that's because they don't exist anymore. Hollywood stopped making comedy movies. The last comedy movie I actually watched in the theaters was Grown Ups 2. I was 8 years old. That was 2013. I'm in college now. What happened? And Grown Ups was cool and it's like nostalgic now, Grown Ups 2 is not that funny. This beautiful genre of film that I love is dead now, and I don't understand why everybody's so okay with it. I don't understand how we all let the idea of watching a really good comedy movie in a theater full of people die. I love my generation more than most people in my generation love this generation, but stuff like that sucks. The things I would do to see Step Brothers in the theaters or Superbad in the theaters, the experience of being in a theater full of people and everybody laughing at a really good comedy movie is non-existent today. It doesn't happen. And it's a feeling that I will most likely never get to experience until Hollywood fixes this. You would think with all of the advancements that we made, it would make it easier to make really good movies like that, but it hasn't. It's made it harder and worse. At the end of the day, it's money, and I think today it would be very hard to pull off a really good comedy movie. I mean, think about every time that you're in a movie theater. You're usually there to watch some super crazy Marvel movie that costs like $300 million to make. So for kids today that grew up watching these super crazy brain stimulating movies, to watch a comedy movie kind of just seems boring. And just by chance that some Hollywood exec ever sees this video, please, for the love of God, stop making video game movies. They never end well. We only watched the Five Nights at Freddy's movie because of the nostalgia. It was not a good movie. It was just cool because we were in the theaters watching a movie about Five Nights at Freddy's. It was a cool moment. If you grew up playing FNAF, of course it was really cool, but the movie sucked. It was a terrible movie. It felt like a bunch of old, out-of-touch Hollywood producers being like, the kids really like Five Nights at Freddy's, let's wait 10 years and make a terrible movie about it. And now they're doing it again, but this time it's very clear to everybody what they're doing, and people are not happy about it. They just recently dropped the trailer for the Minecraft movie that's coming out this next spring, and it looks really bad. Like really bad. Jack Black stars in it, and it's like everything's like real life. The trailer's horrible. If you've been online, I'm sure you've heard all of the discussion around it and you've seen it. It's pretty bad. And I'm very happy the reception around this movie has been as bad as it's been. I wish the movie was good, but I'm happy that we're not letting them get away with this again, because this is terrible. People will only be watching this movie to laugh at it, or some little kids will watch it because they like Minecraft. But you can very clearly tell just from the trailer that they were not going for a quality movie at all. And in a way, I get it. It's a good way to get people's attentions. Everybody's talking about it and people are gonna watch it, but it's another reason I say Hollywood is getting very lazy. Of course it's a business, it's the film industry, but I just feel like it wasn't always this money hungry and driven by only money, and no quality was considered at all. I like these big produced Marvel movies where you go and you can barely even tell what's happening on the screen. Your brain can barely compute the amount of special effects being shoved in your face. It's crazy. The fact that these movies are even possible is insane. And there's definitely still some great movies coming out. Like last year, Poor Things came out. That was an amazing movie. There's still really good movies coming out, but the fact that movies like that are getting overshadowed by these trash cans of movies is what's so upsetting to me. With streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and the ability to just illegally stream whatever you want, this is the worst time for Hollywood to get lazy. This is the time to put the foot on the gas and get people excited for new movies. You would think on paper something like the Minecraft movie would get a bunch of numbers and attention and people would be super excited about it, but at the end of the day, especially today, people can see through the bullshit. I don't know, I love movies and I feel like it didn't used to always feel like this, and I miss the feeling of being excited for movies, but maybe I'm just a salty old head, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think though. Has Hollywood gotten lazy, or are movies like the Minecraft movie and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 fire? Let me know in the comments, but that's all I've got for today. Thank you all for watching, and with that being said, I'm out of here, and I'll see you on the next one.